Barcelona dropped their first points of the season as they can only manage a 1-1 draw against Sevilla at the Camp Nou. Both goals coming early in this one. De Jong gives Sevilla the lead. Coutinho then with the equaliser. Gab, Marcotti and Ali Moreno here to discuss this. Ali, 1-1, fair?
Fair. Very much a fair result. I think Sevilla, over the balance of the game, they'd probably be disappointed that they didn't get more out of this match because, to be quite honest with you, there were long periods of time in which Sevilla were the better team at the Camp Nou. 24 minutes into the game, a graphic comes on the television, and it's a percentage of possession, and it's 60-40 to Sevilla. And you're thinking, wait, no, typo. Somebody made a mistake here. And it wasn't a typo. It wasn't a mistake. At the beginning of the game, it was all Sevilla. It was all with their pressure. It's all with their possession. And they really challenged Barcelona today. And so what we saw out of that challenge is that whenever Barcelona plays a team that somehow presents themselves in a difficult position, that is going to challenge physically, that is going to challenge them with possession, that is going to test their speed over distance, Barcelona is going to have certain difficulties defending that. The other thing that is a byproduct of playing against better teams is that this whole idea of Lionel Messi playing higher up the field in this 4-2-3-1, he's the false nine or the lone striker, that doesn't last. Because in the lack of possession by Barcelona, there's a certain need and desperation for Lionel Messi to get on the ball, and naturally he just comes back to the ball, he drifts further back, he drops into the midfield and starts getting touches there, specifically and especially when they take out Coutinho, and in taking Coutinho out, there's nobody else to really create that Lionel Messi is going to trust, and so therefore he takes it into his own hands to be the creator, and so we go back to what we were a year ago. This is what we saw today in terms of the tendencies of Barcelona. The moment the game gets difficult, Messi goes back into playmaking, and Barcelona loses this whole magic that they had going on against Villarreal and they had going on against Celta de Vigo. They went back to what they were last season.
Was it regression today, Gab?
I mean, look, I didn't think they were that good in the first two games, even though obviously they won them, and I thought in those two games, Villarreal and Celta Vigo were really, really poor. But I thought, as Ali said, they came up against a Sevilla side who are actually really, really good. And I think at this stage, if you are going to make it a three-way race in La Liga, I think Sevilla are probably the best candidates to do it. I think, they weathered some parts of the game well. I thought, at the back, no Langlais. Ronald Araujo came in. I think it showed he can be competent at least at center back, although could probably still use some help. But I thought it was pretty indicative how, in the second half, with half an hour to go, when he has to make his substitutions, he decided to send on Pedri and Trincao, which, to me smacks of, let me send on the kids here, rather than, trusting the people I have out there to win the game, or perhaps, he had Dembélé on the bench, he had Pjanic on the bench, you could have thrown some different look at them. I think right now, in some ways, Barcelona played better and looked more solid at this point. But Ali's right. This is a team that doesn't want to play like Setien's Barcelona, that is trying to play in a different way with pieces that probably are still missing. And so for now, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. And in the end, this is a good result for them.
Gab brings up an interesting point there. You make those substitutions, you're 1-1, you're looking to win the game. You bring off Ansu Fati and Griezmann and bring on these youngsters.
Yeah, and in particular, the substitution of Ansu Fati coming off, who is really the one change of pace that you have in the attack. That's the one that didn't quite make a whole lot of sense for me. Although Trincao just gives you activity down the right-hand side, Pedri is more of a guy that tends to drift into the inside channels. And so where was the pace, where was the speed going to come from? And when you have Dembélé sitting there, you're thinking, well, couldn't this be the opportunity for somebody who can stretch their legs and get in behind? Couldn't that be the chance for Dembélé? And half of the time, he wasn't even warming up, which then tells you he was never in the plans. And so I think maybe Koeman is making a statement here. I'm going to go with my guys. I'm going to go with my choice. This is about a new Barcelona. I'm trying to lay a foundation for what the future of Barcelona is going to be like. But in the meantime, I think there was an opportunity here to have a late push in the match. And instead, what you saw, well, we're going to bring Pjanic and we're going to hold on to the ball in the midfield. It's going to become more of a 4-3-3 because we didn't take out Busquets, we didn't take out Frenkie de Jong, and Pjanic is right there. And so, again, the whole structure of Ronald Koeman and the whole plan has been centered around this 4-2-3-1 and the double pivot. And this is why I don't play Ricky Puig, because of the double pivot. Okay. And then once this game happened and things got tight, then the substitution pattern brought in another central midfielder that made it more into a 4-3-3. So whatever happened to the double pivot? Whatever happened to this is the way that we're going to play, that this is the philosophy that Koeman's going to have on the field, and that we're going to have matchups on the outside that are going to take defenders on? That's a concerning part, that the game got tough, the game got difficult, and Ronald Koeman and Barcelona went back to the things that they were doing over the last couple seasons that were not successful.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.